What my mom did do was she exposed me to so many different things. The first thing she actually got me in was music. So I played piano like at 8 years old. You know, I did soccer a little bit, but her first thing was, you know, give me the libraries, get me exposure to other
Mm-hmm.
things outside of just what I like to do. So I ended up playing the piano at 8, the drums at 10. By the time I was in middle school, I was actually in the orchestra, played the viola. So that was a big part of my life
Wow.
that really shaped my identity and helped me know that I can be more than an athlete. And I never saw myself as an athlete. So when
Mm-hmm.
it came to football, man, I had to literally beg my parents.
Hmm.
I remember like it was yesterday, just like really forcing them to take me out there, just like, "Come like we gotta go." And I was stubborn. So
Yeah.
when I made up my mind about something, man, I was on it. But at the same time, they really, because they worked so much and they were pouring into our family and trying to take care of a
Mm-hmm.
lot of things that were going on, they couldn't come to all the practices and can be at all the workouts and all those things. And it got me down at a certain point. But
Yeah.
there was this point that came where I really looked within myself and I was like, all right, man, if you want to do this, it's on you.
Yeah.
You know, and it really I was like 11, 12 years old, and I just had that self-motivation, really self-reliance mindset and mentality. And that's something
Mm-hmm.
that stuck with me my entire life, sometimes to a fault,
Yeah.
you know, because I depend on myself a little bit too much
Yeah.
at times, but it was empowering at that time.
No, but that's huge because you can't do what you've done for somebody else, right?
Right.
I mean, if you're trying to do it for your mom or your dad or your coach or, I mean, at some point
Mm-hmm.
you got to get to that point where it's like,
Right.
I want to do this because.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
what was your why? I mean, why? You know, it's what it sounds like. At 11 or 12, you figured out
Mm-hmm.
something.
Right.
Maybe you didn't call it my why, but what was your like? This is why I'm doing it.
Yeah, I mean, I looked at everything they were sacrificing and everything that they were doing for me, you know, and for those around me. And I was just like, man, I got to change things. I got to make sure that, you know, that I use this gift that I've
Mhm.
been given to really impact my family. Because there was this point in time where we were really struggling. Not too long after we moved to Gwinnett, Dad lost his business and he fell into like a great just depression.
Mm.
And my mom, she almost died the
Really?
same year. Yeah, I mean, it was bad, like bad. She was on her deathbed. So we were, you know, this close to losing her. And we was just paycheck to paycheck. And, you know, I became that kid that was on the free and reduced lunch meals.
Yeah.
On top of, you know, being a kid that always needed a ride home.
Yeah.
You know, so my coaches are helping me big time. And I was just like, man, this is bigger than me now. Like this sport is not just a sport. Like this is a ticket to potentially like help my family. And
Yeah.
that drove me every single day. And then
Yeah.
the fact that they weren't there, I just realized, man, like I don't need my parents to necessarily motivate me and yell at me. I don't need this coach to yell at me
Yeah.
and to motivate me. Like I'm just gonna go hard because, you know, I know like number one, I have the gift. Like I realized at an early age too that God gave me a gift, a talent. And my thing was too, which served as another piece of motivation that if I don't use this thing, if I don't maximize it, it's either gonna get, you know, taken away or it's gonna be given to somebody else. And so that's how I kind of looked at it as well on top of everything else.
Yeah.
So yeah.
No, that's huge. I mean,
Shout out
that's
to you.
oh, that's fine.
Yeah.
That's huge to be so young
Mm-hmm.
and have that self-realization.
Yeah.
So I guess when you went to Georgia and they said, "Man, you look small,"
I was
you're
before
like-
Georgia, man.
you were like, "Come on."
Yeah. I mean,
Um,
yeah, it was. It started really, man. My freshman year in high school.
at high school.
Yeah,
Okay.
it started in high school long before, man. Because I actually played running back growing
Okay.
up, and got switched to linebacker. And at that point, like my little league coach, who was like a second father to me, he was like, "Man, Rennie, I remember standing in his living room, and this is something that I talk about when I speak, man.
Mhm.
That we all face. We all face that challenge in life that hits us,
Yeah.
and we have that decision to make. So for him, the message he told me was like, Rennie Curran, I want you to focus on what you can control."
Yeah.
You know, for me, that's been a message that's resonated with me my whole entire life. Like, don't worry about those external factors. Don't worry about who values you, who doesn't. Don't worry about who promotes you, who doesn't, what position you're in. Just control what you can control. So for
Yeah.
me, that was like my effort. That was my character. That was my attitude.
Yeah.
That was my ability to be a leader. That was my ability to go hard effort, like in the weight room. You know, Ray Lewis talks about it all the time. Effort is between you and you.
Mhm.
You know, nobody can judge that. And so I just went hard, man. Like tried to turn myself into a machine.
Yeah.
And when I started hearing the chatter about me being undersized and, people not knowing if I was going to be able to play in the SEC, I just, man, used it as fuel. And it just made me go harder every single time I read a newspaper article, every time I saw a message board where fans were talking about, man, it's just short linebacker out of Snellville. It's just like, all right, there's more motivation, man. And I did every single thing I could to separate myself from the competition, down to like going to Athens at 15 years old wearing Timberland boots just to make myself look a little bit better.
Yeah.
Or putting 20 to 30 extra pounds on the bar so that I could be that much stronger, look that much bigger. I like really killed myself, man, to separate myself from the competition.
No, but that's huge. Well, and then you develop some other skills.
Yeah.
That, I mean, you couldn't just go straight on. I mean, you had to be a little quicker,
right,
a little more agile.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I think that was what was so amazing watching you play, is because you weren't just a big guy going out there just swapping folks. I mean, you had to be very, very agile.
Oh yeah, man, and I attribute that to a lot of the extra training that I did. I always talk about how, you're in, regardless of what industry you're in, you can't just do what everybody else is doing if you want to be great. You really got to find that edge, and I found that edge in the guys who were around me in my neighborhood or in my community who were specialists, man. Guys like Chip Smith.
Yeah.
Chip Smith is like another father to me, man. He's trained the best of the best. Ryan Urlacher, Champ Bailey, I mean, you name it, they've trained with Chip. So I went there. I mean, my Little League coach got me in there, but developed a relationship with Chip to where, he allowed me to come and to train there for free a lot of times because my parents couldn't afford it. Another guy by the name of Ryan Golden, who was a world-class weightlifter. Another guy, George Herring, who was another trainer. I mean, there were so many guys. I sought out the gurus. Yeah. And I learned from the man. And like between Chip, Ryan, and all the other trainers, man, Chip was like a speed and conditioning and quickness specialist. So he had us doing the bungee cords, like all types of contractions. Ryan was like world-class powerlifter. So when I got with Ryan my sophomore year, my lifts went up like 50 pounds.
Wow.
I mean, I left high school, man, benching 425, squatting 515, cleaning 320 pounds. The record is still standing at Brookwood. Like,
that's awesome.
Yeah, but just not only sought out the gurus, but man, I ate just perfection. Every day was about improving every single day. I never got comfortable. I would walk out of their facilities and like not be able to walk half the time.
Yeah.
So I matched that up with just what the access I had at school as well. So the training I did there, like I said, if I got a sheet from my coach, Tom Jones was my weightlifting coach. He'll tell you to this day, he gave me sheets with, our plan for the day. And I look at, 225 pounds and I'm like, all right, that means 250. He'll get mad at me like, you're not sticking with the plan. And I'm like, coach, I got to get better, man. And so I was just hungry at that age, at 15, 16 years old. And every day we just added up, I looked at it like a bank, just making those small little investments. Yeah. And then, eventually like. But
you loved the journey.
Oh yeah.
You weren't just sitting there, hey, you weren't just focused on the goal.
Right.
You were like, I'm enjoying pushing this weight around.
Yeah.
This is, you found a way to enjoy that.
Yeah.